Hi guys, this video is about ArcoLinux Tweak Tool. Yeah, we've made a new tab, Fish. And Fish is just another shell. So bash, zsh, and Fish. What we have been doing is looking at things a different way, in the sense that after working on the project ArcoLinux, right? ArcoLinux.info, where is the information, we've seen that everything is basically Arch, what we touch. There are 41s, by the way. You can download and test the AAGs, the ISOs, the new ISOs for June are on there. Also the Bs, so 30 ISOs I think it was. Getting back to the story here is that we've now 42 ways to install ArcoLinux. That's and scoping is the word. That's containing. It's all contained inside the ArcoLinux project. 31 ISOs from us. One is missing now because he's sick. That's now we don't release it. There's Carly. There's Ariser, ALCI, ArcoLinux ISO, the Arch way, typing everything out, every command, right? Or the Arch install, which works just fine. If you know a few things there, it might be a hiccup. Anyway, it's always about knowledge, and that's what we share. So I've made a lot of videos about ArcoLinux Tweak Tool being changed to ArcoLinux Tweak Tool, and then making videos on Garuda, on EndeavourOS, and we try to make on 7 systems to make it work. So that the idea is, one, transparency. If you started from a terminal, you can see all kind of communication with you guys. 2 is that we want to make backups of the important files we're gonna touch, so there's always a .back thing. And 3, we want you always to get back to the previous state. Before you install ArcoLinux Tweak Tool, you get reset something, right? That's the general idea. And if that's not the case, report, because we try to aim for that. Okay. I've made lately a lot of videos about Garuda and about EndeavourOS, because in the end it's all ArcoLinux. You choose, and then get the knowledge how to maintain an ArcoLinux based system from all these guys, from all of us, right? EndeavourOS forums and so on, and chat groups, and it's all there. Ask your questions, but also look at ArcoLinux project and see at the YouTube videos, which are 2,800 videos or something. And think out of the box, right? It's not because it's called ArcoLinux that it's not about ArcoLinux. It's about maintaining a system based on Arch. This time I'm gonna make the project on Ariser, right? That's our own project. So Carly, Ariser, ALCI are other ways of learning how to build ISOs. This is about building ISOs. Why not build my own ISO with my own kernel, my own choices? Because in the end, that's what the distro is. We're gonna get stuff from Arch and build some stuff from ourselves, some configurations, some icons, a wallpaper. Boom, you've got something of your own. So that's what we want to explain here as well. Let's go to the Super F7. I have this working way of working, and that's you go to always a clean install, basically. So have a copy, clone, clone, clone. You see all the guys are here. Carly OS as EndeavourOS, right? These two are not from me. People aren't getting confused now. And ALCI, Carly, Ariser, Garuda, they're all here. What I do is update this one, keep it up to date, up to date, up to date, and it's a pure ArcoLinux or a pure Carly or a pure EndeavourOS or a pure Garuda, and I clone it. So in this case, I've just done that already. So I'm gonna clone this, next, next. And I'm gonna wait for it, right? So let's pause the video here. All right, the clone is finished. I put them together with all the rest of the clones. Seems like it's a clone war or something, right? Remove it. Don't want to see the ISO, and if you noticed, it says ArcoLinux, right? Ariser is a pure ArcoLinux system. Ariser has its own website. right? And it's a script that we use. It's pure ArcoLinux, and then we just say install Pseudopacman minus sxfce and go get grub and go get lightm, etc. Basically, that's Arch. Go get stuff. Enfin, so that's explained here. How many articles are we at? We have 11 articles. That's not that much, but you get your own ISO, your personal ISO. So it's about fish. Let's focus on fish. So this is all the setup, the workflow. I have to test things out and for you guys to learn, right? If it fails, it's fine. You've got a clone that failed. So you copy paste again and you try again and you learn. Now, since, and here we go, right? Since this is the ISO that I made myself, so it could be also the ISO that you made for yourself, you can add exactly the same thing as I did. Get Nemesis on a riser. Get your own scripts on a riser. Put them there and do exactly what I do. Data, ArcoLinux Nemesis, open it in a terminal, and that script, there are lots of videos, so I'm not gonna go into detail about the Nemesis script. Just type Nemesis on our YouTube channel. That's maybe something I should show. Here are the ArcoLinux repos. They're in there. Pacman knows where it is. So I'm gonna stop this guy. Yes, stop. I am gonna show, what was I going to show? Right, I wanted to go with you to the internet because many people do it wrong. And then of course you get results that are just rubbish. Even now it could be a problem, right? Because there is a big, vast library on YouTube. The problem is that people start searching here. Don't go to Eric Dubois, go to the channel, this is the channel, and click on this button. Then you restrict your search to this. And if you want to learn about fish, and that's what this is all about, there's a playlist here, right? Updated today, sure, and fish, etc., etc. Go scroll through it. You can also catch virtual fishes if you want to, but there is more, right? There is really lots of things, interesting things. Enfin, so that's the search, this search. So in this, with this little script, we've downloaded this thing, and thanks to that, I started the 0 current choices, and we've got now Pseudopacman minus S access to whole of ArcoLinux, right? And there's new INC. What is INC? This one, right? Information. So Pseudopacman minus S, anything ArcoLinux related can now be installed. 233 things, right? No. We want to install the ArcoLinux tweak tool and then the dev version because we're testing it out, the fish. So the idea of the ArcoLinux tweak tool, it changed from Arco tweak tool to ArcoLinux tweak tool because think out of the box, right? It's all Arch. So we're making an ArcoLinux tweak tool for anything Arch based, but restricting ourselves to the first 7 ISOs. You'll see when I boot up. So here's some information. So yes, we can get stuff from Chaotic. Yes, we can get stuff from EndeavourOS. Yes, you can stuff from ArcoLinux, and yes, you get stuff from Nemesis repo. That's something extra. That's my repo, my personal repo, where I put sometimes some icons on. Well, I'll keep on developing and stuff that I think, but not really ArcoLinux stuff. Then it's gonna be on my repo. Simple as that. So without further ado, let's launch this thing, right? So you see me always launch it here. It's not the real thing. Well, it's an application, and applications you just go here and accessories and you launch it from here, right? But I tend to launch it from here, and you see now why, because it gives you some information. So we are making it just for G7 at the beginning. ArcoLinux, ArcoLinux, ALCI, Carly, we're on a riser, EndeavourOS Garuda, right? And then we talk about fish. Now, a quick jump to here. There are shells. There is bash, there is zsh, and there is fish. So applying is just saying sudo change shell for Eric to zsh to bash, and you see the communication. We want to be transparent in here. Install oh my zsh, voila, it's installed. Apply my fish. It's supposed to do that, talk to you, be transparent. Back to fish, apply fish. We're back on fish because that's the point. Now we don't have fish. How do I know that? By clicking Pseudopacman -R. That's what I make in the videos. F, I, and then tap. If nothing comes, there is no fish, right? Something does come, right? But there's no fish in there. So fish is not installed. If you can't remove it, it's not installed. Okay, install fish. Fish is installed without a configuration. This is our configuration. It's always a choice. We would like to keep that as a rule. It's always a choice. Building distros is making choices. Oh, I've closed it. That's not a good idea. Enfin, sudo. Oops, I'm so used to type Pseudopacman -SYYU that it hurts. Voilà. There's indeed an information here that's an important one, but I don't know if I told it already because it's the second attempt to make the video. So let me repeat myself if I said it already. But we want to be transparent, so everything is written in here. We want to have backups of anything that's important that we're going to touch later on. So that you have a reset button, and there are a few reset buttons down in these things. Here was one. So reset, then it's possible, right? So that's an important thing to tell. So are we now on fish? We're not, right? We should activate and log out, and that's it. So apply fish, log out, and log out, and log back in. It's only then that fish applies. Welcome to Fish, the friendly interactive shell. Type help for instructions. Help. And then you're sent to the website. Well, actually not. And didn't notice it yet. Okay. We're on the website-ish, right? We're on our own system. File, user, share, dogfish. They've put the website locally. And you go start learning just as I did in the video that's gone, I guess. So YouTube, and then you go find our ArcoLinux fish maybe, and you find some information. This is the playlist. Always interesting to have a playlist. It looks different because it has this thing next to it. Okay. Look at that. All right. So fish is active. How do I know why this fish, right? Because of the help, sure, but also because of the fact that this will happen. -S, and I know it doesn't look good, and that's why we changed our design. But this is the pure fish. So if I want to S something and I press tab, I get choices. Arrow down, arrow down. View package, extended information. Okay. Firefox. Oh God, all right. It's standalone, it uses libpulse, and it may be so that you're not getting all these words, I mean all these packages, but give it a few years and you'll know what Pulse Audio is, and you know there's a little brother or a big brother, whatever you want to call it, Pipewire, and that there is a choice there again, right? It's all about choices, and somebody, Jan Alexander Steffens, which sounds really like somebody, from our regions, package that thing. So all this information, like for instance, and that's the last one, minus QO, I want to have it somewhere. This O thing is an interesting thing. So again, go down and learn, right? I forget all these switches, but in Fish you don't have to remember. You query the package that owns the file. Okay, so O, fine. And then etc pacman.conf. Who supplies that file? So if I do sudo pacman -s pacman, right? That's the one that supplies it. Yes, that's the one that supplies it. And if I say, how about sudo.conf? Then it's supplied by the package sudo. And if I say, how about lightdm? This guy. Then it's the package lightdm. And retracing why we have all these folders and packages and files on our system matters sometimes, right? You need to know who is responsible for changing my file. Well, QO. That's operating system maintenance knowledge. And Fish can assist in that, learning more about your possibilities. All right, that said, we are here for the tweak tool. ArcoLinux tweak tool. So basically we have Fish, right? There is nothing to do. We have Fish. And there is, however, our own Fish. I think like 2 months ago or something, I said, okay, let's dive into Fish, right? I have some time and let's study it. And that's what you should do, study it. ArcoLinux Fish includes all my Fish themes and plugins. Do you want it? Install it. Don't want it? Don't install it. So again, what is important is that we make backups. So assume you have Fish, right? This is the default Fish. Is it a long configuration? Yes, it's a very long configuration. It has 3 lines. 3. Did we make a backup? Yes, we made a backup of these 3 lines. Now, if we have your own personal thing, we're gonna override everything. You see? And the config Fish is a bit longer. Just a bit. Well, just a bit. At the end. Okay? Did we overwrite everything? Yes. Did we make a backup? Yes. So anything ending with ATT, ArcoLinux tweak tool, this is your beautiful, super long Fish. So each time you actually click this thing, each time you'll get a backup. And the date and time are there. So yes, from time to time you say, I'm good, right? You just delete. And then the backup is gone because you make the decision, everything is fine and don't need all these backups. So this is done unless you want to say, this Fish is not my thing, right? And apply bash and zsh reset Fish. So back to the 3 lines and let's get Fish out of my system. Remove anything out of my system related to Fish, but we're not gonna go into your home directory. This will stay there, right? It's up to you to decide what happens to your home directory. And now we close everything. And what changed? Well, next time, if you open up, this happens. Oh, that's nice. So this is our ArcoLinux look at things, and that's why we have also this logo there. So is it looking different? Yeah, I hope so. So Pseudopacman -Q, the look, the design, right? It's a little bit different in coloring and all that. It's so, again, choices. Let's find out melt, if we can find some information about melt. What does it need? It depends on this one, on that one, that one, that one, that one. Okay, we learned something. And that's how it's that's interesting, right? This possibility of Fish plus, well, the websites, right? Go and learn about Fish and the Fish language, start exiting default shell and so on. I'm wondering if I forgot anything. We could change this as an example. Yes, I forgot something, definitely. But I'm gonna cut it into 2 videos, right? So we have the fish, the config fish. Don't like this mousepad thing, never did. Pseudopacman -s sublime, and then tap and go install this. Right mouse click, open with another application, Sublime Text, forever and ever and ever, Sublime Text, and make this bigger, scroll all the size, and then plain text, Perl I often take, because then it gets a little bit color. So the things that are grayish are not used, and everything that's colorful is used. So that's the easy way of looking at things visually. So here is your ufetch Arco. So the logo is from Arco. If you just take ufetch, that's fine. It's gonna be save, Control S, Control Alt T. It's gonna be this one, right? Ufetch. And then it's up to you. We are on a base system. We're not on ArcoLinux, where all the packages are available. We're on a riser. It's pure Arch. Ufetch, what's that? Well, often I will do a yay or a paru. But in this case, I know we have the ArcoLinux repos, right? It's just install it. Pacman -s, install it. Sorry, it's ufetch git. It's coming from GitHub, hence they name it / or -git. And then if you press Ctrl T, you get this thing. Let's do another one. It's bluish. It's always gonna be bluish, I guess. Yep. No, look. Why? We don't have lolcat yet. Ctrl T, Pseudopacman -s lolcat. An interesting little thing, makes life a little bit more interesting if it works. It was installed. Okay, let's do this one. You have to think about everything, right? Still early in the morning. Take a look. Been awake since 6 o'clock again. Control T. There you go. Nice. And every time it's something different, and that's why lolcat can be fun, right? And now I have to close all these guys. Voila. We have a super Q. Here there isn't a super Q. This happens when I type super Q. We love our keyboard shortcuts, but this is a riser. So go on and venture your way in here. It will mean you have to think about things. In this, for example, this rip thing that you see here, right? And you say, wow, cool, I've got rip. Rest in peace. It's not working. Sudo pacman -s xpac. Right? Nothing to do on ArcoLinux, but we're not on ArcoLinux. Rip is a super interesting thing because it will tell me why is Samba not working anymore, and I go up at okay, and oh yeah, look at that. I installed SMB client a month ago. It was down. We had to downgrade SMB client, and then we could access the Samba server again. Things like that. You analyze it here. What came in lately? What could have an effect on my system? Oh yeah, I changed Linux headers. True. Might that be the reason? Maybe I should downgrade Linux headers. Linux and Linux headers. Maybe, right? So the rip thing, the xpac, and it will be filled with more of these things that we have in our repos, right? And in our config. So the config here and the applications that it runs, well, it needs to be there. Like Paru, like Yay, should all be there. Time for me to cut the video, I think. Next video is about running these extra things, but for a general user, you've got yourself fish, and you've got a nice thing to greet you. All right. Cheers.